Good morning, guys. It is week 8, and I wanted to help you out a little bit with our mini research assignment. So just to recap real quick, we are not doing a big 6 to 8 page research assignment where you find your own topic and your own resources. So don't sweat it. We are not doing that. However, we do need to do a little bit of research for our 11th grade year, and we figured we'd try to make it as simple as possible for you. As we do this. So your prompt that everybody's doing and we think would be quite relevant right now is whether online learning is as effective as traditional in-school learning. So you're either going to argue that you think online learning is more effective, or you're going to argue and say that traditional learning, the learning that we had where we're face-to-face, is more effective. So that will be your argument. Now, the second part of this is we actually found some articles for you, so you don't have to go searching and digging. All you need to do is just read them and use them for your outline. So kind of everything that you need to get started is right here under the mini research assignment. As you see, you have your prompt and then 3 articles to use. And we would like for you to use 2 of the 3. I even created a model for you. Now, the model is over a different topic. It's over vaccines, but it still shows you how everything works together. And I definitely highly recommend that you take a look at that because that will help you. And then, of course, your part of the assignment is as you read and form your argument, you're working on your outline. And that outline will be the premise for your paper. Basically, if you do a good job in your outline, writing your paper is not going to be very difficult because you'll have everything that you need right there. That's your pre-writing. So let's take a look at the outline if you don't mind. Hold on, I need to fix, I had a spelling error right here. So I guess you'll see live time fix of rebuttal. Okay, so here's your outline. Again, it has your claim right at the top. Is online learning as effective as traditional in-school learning? You are going to complete this outline where you're going to have a claim. Again, that's your argument. You're going to give a sub-argument, so a reason to support your claim, and then a counter-argument. That's the whole argumentative piece. What would someone say against you that you can still prove yourself correct? Okay. And then, of course, a conclusion. So this is going to be just a total of 4 paragraphs, and you do need to use the sources provided. So if you scroll down here, you would have an intro, body paragraph 1, which is over reason number 1, a counterclaim paragraph, and a conclusion. That's it. 4 paragraphs, guys. A lot smaller than what we were going to have to deal with. As you fill out your outline, you're going to make sure that you have a clear, strong thesis. Your thesis is the most important part of your paper. That is what you're trying to prove. So you're either proving that online learning is more effective, or you're proving that traditional in-school learning is more effective. Okay? That is what you are going to prove. You need to make sure that you fill out all parts of this outline, including a counterclaim. So what would someone say against you? Maybe you're saying that online learning is more effective. What's one point that someone against you would say maybe in favor of the opposite, traditional learning? And then what can you still say to prove, no, some might say this, but however, this is still true. Okay? As you're working through this, you need to use your sources of citation and have proper textual evidence. And if you look at the model, there's some great examples of making sure that you have everything you need. All right, so let's take a look at the intro, the most important part of your paper. When you start your intro and as you read your articles, you are going to make sure that you have your thesis statement. Obviously, your hook is what you start with, but sometimes it might take you a moment to come up with this. So again, when you do get to your hook part, that's that's a part that kind of draws your reader's attention. Sometimes that's a surprising fact about the topic. It could be a question about the topic, or it could be a short anecdote or a little story, but something to draw their attention. If you look at my model right here, now my prompt is over vaccines, so it's going to be a little different. I used a question about vaccines. And again, my prompt on my little model was whether or not you should vaccinate. So I said, if a person could save another person's life, should they be given the opportunity? So I have a hook here, and then I have an answer to that because I'm actually doing a question, so you need to have an answer. Millions of lives are saved every day because medical professionals have the opportunity to give their patients vaccines. So here my hook is a question about the topic and an answer. Maybe you want to do that about online learning versus traditional. Maybe you have a surprising fact to put in there, but it's something to draw interest. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to kind of just give your bridge a little bit of background information. So if I'm doing vaccinations, maybe I'm actually going to say what they are. So for me, I said vaccines, also called immunizations, because they take advantage of our natural immune system's ability to prevent infectious illnesses as they save lives. Generally, vaccines are given to children to protect them at an early age. But in recent years, people have been debating whether or not they should vaccinate their children. So if we're doing our model here, maybe you have a question about online learning, you provide an answer, and then you just kind of maybe define what the difference is between online learning and traditional learning. But it's just some sort of bridge to provide some background information about your topic. The 5 W's: who, what, when, where, why. Okay. Now, the most important thing is your thesis. This is what you prove throughout your whole paper. What are you trying to prove? So in this one, it's your general statement that you're going to prove throughout the essay. So in the sample, I'm doing whether or not you should vaccinate. So my thesis is parents should follow the American Pediatric Association's vaccination schedule because vaccines reduce drastically once prevalent and devastating disease. So I have an answer. Whether or not you should vaccinate, in my sample paper, I'm saying yes, because of this reason. The second part of making sure my thesis is I'm going to include my other subtopic, which is my counterclaim. Although many believe they impact brain development, so this is what someone might argue against me about not vaccinating, they do not affect development or function. They actually keep people safe. So what am I still arguing? So some people might say don't vaccinate because they cause issues with your brain, and I'm saying actually no, they don't, and they're keeping you safe. Overall, you should vaccinate. Now that might seem kind of complicated. Let's look back at what you're talking about. So, and you can kind of follow this outline. You're more than welcome. When comparing online learning versus traditional learning, it is apparent that blank learning is more effective. So you would actually put down whichever one you choose. That's why I left the blanks there, because of blank. So as you read your articles, think about which one you think, which is better, online versus traditional, and what is your main reason that you could think you could write a whole paragraph about. Then, although many believe blank, what's something someone would say in favor of the opposite point? This is incorrect because blank is true. So one of your articles has pros and cons. That might be a great article to use if you can still argue something to help your point. And then you're going to say overall blank is the best. So when comparing online learning versus traditional learning, it's apparent that blank learning is more effective. So you choose because blank, your reason. And although many believe, this is your counterclaim, this fact, that is incorrect because blank. And then overall, again, which one are you saying is the best? And that's your thesis, most important part of your paper. So once you get that, that was the hardest part of your paper. Okay. As you continue, you'll have your body paragraph 1, which is going to be about that first reason you put up here. What are you saying in favor of your argument? And then body paragraph 2 is all about your counterclaim. So though many believe this point, how are you going to still prove that you're correct? And again, you'll use evidence and explanation and concluding sentences to do this. Okay, your conclusion's pretty simple. You just have a transition word with a restatement of the thesis. That's your answer. And just kind of sum up your subtopics and everything going on. This format is the format that we've been using all year. Let me kind of show you in the model too. As you do your topic sentences for your body paragraphs, make sure it's just the main idea. So for me, my reason that you should vaccinate is it decreases diseases. Maybe you're going to write first, maybe you're going to say first, traditional learning gives you live support with a teacher. Okay, maybe that was your first reason. Okay, it's your main idea. So the rest of this paragraph is going to be about this. Then you're going to lead in with your evidence. So if you look at this, you want to actually say according to the articles. That's where you're going to need to pay attention to which article you got your information from. And if it's the first time you're bringing up that article, you need to bring up the title. So I said, according to the article, the benefits of vaccines far outweigh the risks by blank. You're going to kind of just sum what your point is, and then you're going to give your quote. Now, as you see, if you already bring up the author's last name, then you just kind of put the date here. Now, if you haven't put your author's last name up here, you do author's last name, comma, the year was published. And as you look through my examples, like here's an example of how you would do that correctly. Again, the period goes after your quotes at the end over here. Okay. And then kind of the last part is as you're doing your evidence, you always need to explain how that's proving your point. If I'm saying, for instance, that vaccines decrease diseases, and I say the author reports that rubella, a vaccine notorious for causing, or a virus notorious for causing birth defects, stillbirths, and miscarriages have been eliminated from the United States, and I have that, I actually then need to say this example is showing how dangerous these diseases are. So if you have a quote, you need to prove how that's proving your points, okay? Again, before you give your evidence, sum up what it's about, cite it, prove your point. Conclusion sentences are the same thing. You're just restating your topic sentence. Slightly different words. So instead of saying first, vaccines decrease diseases, maybe you'll say all in all, vaccines can keep people safe. With our online learning, I said first, traditional, and here I got to check my typos here. First, traditional learning gives you live support with a teacher. Maybe I'll say all in all, traditional learning gives you that assistance you need with teachers. Okay, slightly different wordings. The same kind of format for your counterclaim. The only thing that's different is you're going to bring up, although many believe, what would they say against you? This is incorrect, and you're still giving evidence to prove your point. You don't want to give evidence to prove the other argument, but evidence to prove your point with the same exact format. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful on filling out the outline. I'm going to record another video with read aloud of the actual articles as well, in case you would like that support. I definitely highly recommend as you're reading to fill out your outline, and please feel free, read the model. Feel free to email us too. You might have to watch this video a couple of times. Also, if you took the time to watch this video, we would love to give you a couple extra points. So if you would write on this assignment a private comment on your assignment, this video code, we can give you a point. And the code word today is May. So if you write that down or send us an email with May, we'll actually add a couple points for you for taking the time to watch this video. All right, guys, hang in there. This actually shouldn't take you too long. We're here for you. Your last big assignment, once you put this together in a paper, you're basically done. Okay, so congratulations. See you guys later.